What shadow personas gets us locked into feeling completely numb, disconnected, and just on autopilot? I really want to start out with the Silent Specter. This is the shadow of inconsistency. And this is walking around like a ghost. So the Silent Specter is emotionally absent, physically present, but spiritually hollow. They're there, but not really there, if you catch my drift. And they do drift through life, showing up in routine, but without feeling or purpose. People may speak to them, but their words never seem to land. Decisions, conversations, and even emotions pass through them like mist. So, how do you identify the silent specter in your life? So, you show up, but you're disconnected. You go through the motions, but feel nothing. Lack drive, creativity, or excitement for the future. Avoid deep conversation because it's easier to stay numb. You let life happen to you rather than making choices. You're a bystander in your own story. So some of these self-sabotaging patterns of the silent specter is detachment. It's easier not to feel anything. 2, autopilot mode, just getting through the day. 3, lack of engagement. Nothing excites me anymore. 4, people drift away. No one understands me. 5, isolation grows. I should just keep it to myself. And then loop, repeating. So some of the self-limiting beliefs, if I just keep going, maybe I'll feel something again. It's too exhausting to care. What is the point? Nothing really matters anyways. People don't notice me when I'm useful. That's a very difficult one. And I know I've been there at times in my life. So what's another one another shadow persona that really fits this numb, disconnected, and autopilot would be the hollow flame. And the hollow flame is the shadow of burnout and emotional detachment. So really burning out, running on fumes. The hollow flame isn't just numb, they're completely drained. At one point, they were passionate, driven, and full of energy, but now they're really burned out. They're exhausted. They're emotionally empty. Their body keeps moving, but their soul is running on fumes. So how do we identify the hollow flame in our lives? You feel nothing, even in moments that should bring joy. You've lost passion for the things you used to love. Everyday life feels like a chore, even fun things. Your creativity, your problem solving abilities feel just dead. And you're overworked, overcommitted, and unable to stop. You keep pushing forward even though you feel like you're crumbling inside. So some of these patterns for this particular cycle is, 1, the hustle harder. I need to prove my worth. 2, overcommit and overwork. Rest is for the weak. 3, emotional detachment. I don't have the energy to care. 4, total exhaustion. I can't stop or I'll fall apart. 5, repeat until collapse. I'll just push through one more time. Repeat, and then you have the loop. So the self-limiting beliefs, I can't stop. People are counting on me. If I rest, I'll fall behind. I don't have time for emotions. I just need to keep going. I used to love this. Why don't I care anymore? And so have been there. And I have been hearing this time and time again on those 2 type of self-limiting beliefs. I really do hear those. And what we call in the personas, instead of in self-limiting beliefs, these are the whispers that then you fall into the deep shadow, which is what we're talking about right now, these particular shadows. So how do we break this cycle? How awakening from autopilot? And that really falls into, if we're looking at the silent specter, it's reclaiming presence and awareness. So that is, we go into the Timewraith, which is the baseline persona, the core persona. Before you fall into the silent specter, that is the Timewraith. When you start falling into listening to those self-limiting beliefs, those whispers, that's when we can go deep into the shadow. And really the Timewraith is about mastering that time using foresight, precision. It's avoiding that, or not really avoiding stagnation. When you start to get that stagnation, that's when you can really fall into that silent specter. So for that, it's creating that awareness. What are you spending time on? And it's being aware, and that can become very difficult when you're in that silent specter energy. And we'll go through some exercises. But if we look at the Timewraith, timing is a tool. Knowing when to act is just as important as knowing when to wait. Now we look at the hollow flame. The core persona that goes with this is the heart fire. And a lot of times when we do feel that burnout, of course, that's because our heart fire is really dimming low. When was the last time we gave some self-care? And not self-care out of just isolation, but self-care of really taking care of yourself, taking a moment for your day and giving yourself that time. And this is passion and resilience are stronger when balanced with self-care. So we'll go into that a lot deeper. And we can go into the oracles of those particular guidance. So let's break this down. 5 ways to reawaken and shock the system, which can go hand in hand with both of these particular cores and really help us move out of these shadows. So shocking the system, do something completely new. Travel. So this is travel. That will pull into that spontaneity, just shock the system, something spontaneous. Micro engagements, force yourself to fully engage in one conversation today. So that can move us away from feeling hollow, as really get to a meaningful, heartfelt conversation with somebody and connect. And then ask yourself, what used to excite me? And do one tiny version of it. Yeah, it may not be exactly like it, but what excited you? And bring that back. Have a little tiny, so let's say, you love rock climbing, but you can't go rock climbing. So you just go for a hike. Something small, but something that still creates that kind of excitement. And if you can kind of break that routine, right? So the next one is really breaking the routine. Change one major habit to disrupt this autopilot cycle. So feel, and then the last one is really feel something small on purpose. So listen to music that makes you feel, which is interesting. So if we're looking at the hollow flame and reigniting that heart fire is really the ember flame. And this is, and how you can, really bring that flame back is sometimes it's a inspirational movie. Sometimes it's particular music, something that will invoke that emotion, kind of give your body and your heart a little jump start on refueling that and bringing instead of numb, you actually feel something, whether it's a cry that you need, whether it's, screaming, whatever that is, that makes you move, makes you feel. You can also get something texturized and just feel it. It'll get your senses reawakened, which is what you really want to do here if you feel that hollow flame. And the still wind to the silent specter. So a lot of times when these whispers can happen in the shadow is that when you feel like you can't control time, you don't know where things are going, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of uncertainty, we can fall into this, fear of conflict. I don't want to be out in the public. I don't want to fight. I just want to be alone because there's a lot of chaos going on. And that's when we can fall into that silent specter. So when the chaos is starting to go, it can be very difficult. But if you imagine a mountain, so still wind is like a mountain, and you have this like tornado or tempest that's just spinning around the mountain. The mountain doesn't move. The mountain is not affected by this turmoil, by the chaos. They are still, they are calm. And and it really says clarity amidst life storms. So you really can take a different look at, wait, this isn't mine. Like all of this going around me is somebody else's chaos. It isn't mine. I don't need to own it. And I can stay focused on what I need to do for me, and not out of a selfish way, but at a you are doing something for you today, and really stepping out of that chaos. So if you feel like you've been running on autopilot, either completely numb Silent Specter, or completely burnt out the Hollow Flame, it is time to wake up. You are meant to experience life, not just to endure it. You're meant to feel, not just function. You are meant to thrive, not just survive. So drop a comment below. Do you resonate with more with the Silent Specter or the Hollow Flame? And what's one thing that you're going to do today to break that autopilot? Um, and if you can please like, subscribe, and share this with anybody that you may feel would need this particular message. I know that many people are struggling right now. So if we can help, if there's a particular problem, suggestion, or read that you would like to hear, drop it in the comment. I'd be happy to go over that, because it's very interesting, because we really, many of us are going through the exact same thing. It's time to collaborate and work together and help each other really get out of these shadows.